Hello all and welcome to Our Crochet. My name is Mary and today we are working on the corner to corner cowl or cravat or mini scarf, whatever you want to call it. Now I advertised this on my live on Saturday. If you have seen it, you see what it looks like on the mannequin. Otherwise, I will give you all the full measurements today. Now, what you will need for your cowl or your mini scarf or whatever you want to call it, I can't use this particular yarn online because I tried using it and it's hard, really not visible. But we are going to use pretty much the same in their other colour. Now I used the Claquetan. This is the Claquetan. It's the brown blacky kind of colour. I might just move this out the way, guys, just so you can see this part. All right. So this is the Claquetan Country Naturals range. Now, as you saw in the black scarf, it had the tiny little specks of brown, and you can actually see them in here as well. Okay, so what you will need, actually, no, I'll tell you the measurements first. The measurements are in length. The actual measurements in length is 82 centimeters. I had to think about that. 82 centimeters or roughly 32 and a half inches. So it is actually a mini scarf. It's not a full scarf that goes all the way down. Okay, it's a mini cowl. Okay, if you really want to see what it looks like, you must go on the live and check it out on there. We'll also have myself advertising it once it's finished as well. Okay, we are actually doing part 1 today of our cowl. It is 82 centimeters length, 32.5 inches roughly, and in width it's actually 22 centimeters or roughly 9 inches. If you want to make it bigger or smaller, I'll tell you how to do that throughout the tutorial. I used 4 skeins of this. It is a 50-gram ball, so I roughly used around 360 meters, or like I said, 4 skeins of this. 360 meters, I did a bit of math. You're looking at roughly 400 yards if you are working in yards. Again, don't forget it is a small cowl. If you wanted a larger one, just keep going to the parts where I tell you to keep going. Now, it calls for, there it is, it calls for, let's have a nice close-up, a 4mm hook, and yours truly can't find her normal millimeter hook. So I found my very old one, and you can see how old it is because it's kind of ripped up. This is the very first 4mm hook that I bought. It's ironic, isn't it? The very first one is still hanging around and the rest have gone missing. Anyway, you will need your 4mm hook. You will need your scissors. Yes, you will. You will need the darning needle, but not for a lot. You will need your measuring tape as well. You won't need any of those yet, however. All you will need right now is your pink yarn and your 4mm hook. I have already wound some yarn up in a yarn winder. Yours truly does use the yarn winders. If you're not sure what a yarn winder is, I will pop the link in a description box down below to a tutorial I did on why I wind my yarn. Okay, and you will need to know how to do double crochet stitch, chain stitch, slip stitch. And you will also need to know, just for this one moment, how to do a slip knot. And if you're not sure how to do these stitches, I will pop the links to those stitches in a description box down below as well, if you're only new joining us. Okay, if you're a regular, you would know what I'm doing. We're going to do yarn over your finger once, yarn over your finger twice, hold it there, pop your back loop halfway over, hold it there, pop the other loop all the way over, pop your hook in and give it a tug. All right, so let me get a nice close-up for you. You need to start off with chaining up 6, and a chain is yarn over your hook, pull the loop through once, yarn over your hook, pull the loop through twice, and then 3 times, 4, 5, 6. Now, there are so many ways of doing your corner to corner. Some people actually do 5 and then do your half doubles, but we're doing a normal corner to corner, the basic one. Okay, so now you've got to count 4 chains over, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And in that 4th stitch right there, that little space there, you are going to pop in 1 double crochet. That's yarn over your hook once, pop your hook through both your stitch, like a little V there, yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. You're going to do it again, but in the next stitch. Yarn over your hook, pop it in your next stitch right there, and you should have a V looking thing on your hook. Okay, pull the loop through, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2, yarn over your hook. We're going to do it one last time. Okay, so pop your hook through the last stitch. Now it can look tricky, but it's definitely the last stitch. Okay, so yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. That is the only trickiest part about the corner to corner. This is what we need to do now. We turn our piece that way, all right, and we start again, chaining up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So count your 4 chains over, and I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3 backwards. It actually helps me to go backwards. Okay, you don't have to. You can count 4 stitches forward if you like. So yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. Make sure you're holding on to your piece, okay? Yarn over hook, pop it in your next stitch, and we're doing exactly the same. So it's very, very basic, the stitches, okay? Well, basic for crocheters. This is a normal stitch for most crocheters. Now this last stitch here can get a little tricky, but you really need to get in. See, you can actually end up doing one thread there, but you kind of need to get into both the threads. So it looks like a V. Your work might turn a bit, but hold it steady. Yarn over hook, pull up a loop, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through the last 2. Okay, now this is what you have so far. Now what we're going to do, we're just going to pop our hook in that space, pull up a loop, pull it through that loop on your hook. Okay, now give it a bit of a tug so it's nice and tight. Now you're just going to chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3, and now you're going to put a double crochet in that space. 1, what you've been doing all along. So it's just yarn over hook, pop another one in there, 2, and a third one. So what you have there is your 4 chains, your 3 chains and your 3 double crochets. So it looks like it's got 4 stitches in there, and you kind of look like you've got a V. Getting it corner to corner. So we're working corner way in until all the way up to the other corner. All right, so now you're going to turn your work again. You're chaining up 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as you would every row. Yarn over your hook, go your 4 stitches forward. I go 3 stitches backwards, but it doesn't really matter. And then you pop it through and you do your normal double crochet. Okay, 1, 2. I'm hoping you can see this clearly, guys. And the last one goes in that nice tight stitch that yours truly always does. There we go, and 3. All right, so now we have a few of those spaces to jump into. Remember that space that we did before up there, and we put 3 in there? What we're going to do is do exactly that. We're going to jump into the very first space we come to, slip stitch through to our main stitch on the hook, and then we're just going to chain up 3. 1, 2, and 3. And now we put 3 double crochets in the same space. 1, 2, and 3. Simple, yeah? Now we're just going to, remember that big space there? We are going to slip stitch into that space, chain up 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to put 3 double crochets in there. 4, well, 3, but 4 double crochets, because your chains are acting as double crochets in this row. So there you have it. Okay, still looks like your V. That's what you've got to look for at the end of each row. And another way of showing how it works is you go 1, 2, 3 cluster sets, 1, 2, 3 cluster sets. So you know you've done 1, 2, 3 rows, okay? 1, 2, 3 rows. If it doesn't add up on one side, the same as the other, you've made a mistake somewhere along the way, pull half that row undone or all of it or whatever and try it row again. So in the meantime, we're just going to keep going. All right, so we turn our work again and we chain up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn over hook, find your 4th stitch from the hook. Okay, which is right there. If I could find it, that would be good. 1, 2 and 3. Okay, whoa, nearly lost it. And then we just slip stitch into your next space, chain up 3, 1, 2 and 3, double crochet in the same space, once, twice, and whoops, sorry, lost it there, 3 times, slip stitch into your next space, chain once, twice and 3 times, and then you do your 3 double crochets. 3, put that one in there. Okay, last space, do your slip stitch. 1, 2, 3, 3 double crochets. 2 and 3. I'm going to do one more row with you. Just turn your work. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Yarn over hook. Pop it in your 4th chain from your hook. 2. I should say 1. This is 2. And the last one. 3, slip stitch into your next space, chain 1, 2 and 3, and then do 1, 2, 3 double crochets. Pretty basic, pretty basic. And this kind of a blanket, pillow, scarf, cowl, whatever you want to make out of this piece, 1, 2 and 3, can be done while sitting in front of the TV after a while, because it all comes naturally after a while, doesn't it? Okay, now slip stitch to your next one, chain 1, 2 and 3, and then your 3 double crochets, 2 and 3, slip stitch into your next one like that, 1, 2, 3, do your 3 double crochets, 1, 2, oops, that didn't work, 2, 3, all right, right there. All right, now, all right, let me explain what we need to do now. What you have so far is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cluster sets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cluster sets. Best part is you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cluster sets. So no matter which way you go, you will always have 5 cluster sets going this way. However, when we're ready to decrease, that's when things will change. You don't have to worry about that for now. What you need to do, now this is the best part, 12 take away 5. Everyone? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yes? So you need to do 7 more rows like this. Go ahead and do those rows and then meet me up and we'll talk about decrease. Okay? Go ahead, do those rows and I'll meet you back in a minute. Alrighty, so what you should have here now is your 12 rows across this way, 12 rows this way and 12 rows this way. Okay, so this is where what you could do is actually measure your piece first. So let's give it a measure. To me, I believe my measure is about 20 or 21 centimeters. So from there to there, it's about 20.5 centimeters or 8 inches. Pretty much that's a good size to do for width, okay? For length, that's a whole new size altogether. We are going to work on the rest of this part, and then we are going to do part 2 for the length and for the border, all right? Well, and adding buttons as well. So this is where you were. You've had all your rows put together. You have your 12. However, we're going to do another row. So chaining up 6, and what we do is we actually we slip stitch to end. I'll tell you what happens at the end of this row. We're just going to chain up 6 for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget you should have turned your work before. I did already. I just assumed you were doing it since you're experienced at it now. Whoops, that was a half double there. All right, so continue in your piece for this part of the tutorial. Okay, for the rest of this row. All right, slip stitch into your next set. 1, 2, and 3, and do your normal cluster set in there. 1, 2, and 3. All right, now what I want you to do the rest of the row, but don't do this one. Stop at this one here, and I'll meet you up. All right, so here we are at the end of the row, and I asked you to do the second last cluster set, but not the last one, because with the last one, we are going to slip stitch into the space like normal. We're just going to chain 1, give it a nice tug, turn your work, and now you're going to slip stitch into your not the same stitch you're in now, but your next one right there. So slip stitch into that one right there once, slip stitch into your next one twice. Now this one, you're slip stitching into your next one 3 times, but you're not going to slip stitch into your chains. You're just going to turn your work a little bit, chain up 3, 1, 2, and 3. All right, hoping this is making sense. Yarn over hook. Now the space that you have there, you're going to put your 3 double crochets in there. 1, 2, and 3. Now slip stitch into your next space like normal. Chain your 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then you do your cluster set like normal. Now you're only going to decrease on this side of your work. So let me show you what you've done. Okay, your work should kind of look like that. So there you go. That's what you need to do. Crochet the next few sets until you get to your last. Do your normal cluster set in this row. Chain up your 6, turn around, come back and meet me here, and we'll work out the rest. All right, where you should have got to this is where we were before. I crocheted all the way up there. I did my normal chain 6 turn and then turned around and crocheted all the way over here. Now we're up to the part right here. Whoops, let me get a nice close up so you can see where we still need to do another cluster set. So we'll slip stitch in that space right there. 1, 2, 3. And if it helps you, just think about lining up with that. Okay, so you need to put in your cluster set 2, 3, and that's a 4th stitch altogether. Okay, even though we're doing 3, I'm just counting as in the chains being 1. All right, now this is where we do our slip stitch again. Slip stitch in that space like normal, chain 1, turn your work, and slip stitch into your very next space right there. 1, and then 2, and then 3, across. So you're doing your, oh gosh, just split the yarn, can you believe it? There you go. So you're doing your 3 slip stitches across. Now there's your space. You're just going to chain up 3 here, 1, 2 and 3. Then you're going to put your double crochets in that space right there. You know, I hope that's close enough. Let me get a nice close-up for you. So we've chained up 3 and there's your space there. All right. It looks like it's not going to go, but it does. So you just pop your 3 double crochets in that space. 1, 2 and 3. All right. Pull up your loop. All right. What you're going to do normally would be to slip stitch to your next batch and go all the way up again. All right. So you can already see, I'm sorry guys, you can already see that this side is smaller than this side, and that's what you want. From now on, you're going to crochet all the way up there, do your normal 6, chain up 6, turn, do your cluster sets till you get to here, and then you slip stitch to that batch right there. So you are going to finish off this row all the way up, and you're going to continue adding all the way up on this side. That way you're going to make the length of your scarf or your cowl. Okay, this is already the width is done. In fact, we shall get our measuring tape. Here we go. All right, so the measuring tape now, your scarf cowl should measure 20 centimeters or just on 8 inches or a little bit more, tiny little bit more, not too much more than that, okay? Because we are going to pop a half double crochet border on the whole piece at the end, and that will be part 2 of our tutorial. But in the meantime, what I would like for you to do right now is, starting from here, when you've continued all the way up, you should roughly have around 51 rows, or measure your work, and your work should be in length 80 centimeters or 31 something inches. All right, so get your 51 rows done. Now your 51 rows start from here, so that's already, I don't know, I think it's 13 rows now. So 51 take away 10, what's that? 41 take away 3, 37, 38 more rows you need to do. So just as long as you've got 51 rows this way, you should always have the same amount, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You should always have 12 across this way. Well, you know, regardless of how you count it, if you count it from there or there, from each cluster set should all be 12 this way. Up that way should be 51 cluster sets. So go ahead and do your 51 cluster sets. Meet me back here in a couple of days' time, and we will continue part 2 of your mini cowl, scarf, cravat, whatever you want to call it. We will put part 2 is going to be the border and the buttonholes. It will be finished fairly quickly, guys. You could be wearing your cowl, mini scarf, cravat in a couple of days' time, unless of course you want to wash it before you wear it, which is what I would do. And the other thing I would probably do is wash and block it, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe, like and share and all that jazz. See you in a couple of days, guys, and guess what? Ciao for now.